The United States, as the world knows, will never start a war. We do not want a war. We do not now expect a war. This generation of Americans has already had enough, more than enough, of war and hate and oppression. We shall be prepared if others wish it. We shall be alert to try to stop it. But we shall also do our part to build a world of peace where the weak are safe and the strong are just. We are not helpless before that task or hopeless of its success. Confident and unafraid, we must labor on, not towards a strategy of annihilation, but towards a strategy of peace. What kind of a peace do I mean, and what kind of a peace do we seek? Not a Pax Americana, enforced on the world by American weapons of war. Not the peace of the grave or the security of the slave. I am talking about genuine peace, the kind of peace that makes life on earth worth living, the kind that enables men and nations to grow and to hope and build a better life for their children. Not merely peace for Americans, but peace for all men and women. Not merely peace in our time, but peace in all time.
Rivals have labeled him as being inexperienced and not tough enough.
I am president. We will wage the war that has to be won.
But Barack Obama is changing his tone and says if he were commander-in-chief, he'd have the grit to send U.S. forces into Pakistan to hunt down terrorists, even without approval.
There are terrorists holed up in those mountains who murdered 3,000 Americans. They are plotting to strike again. If we have actionable intelligence about high-value terrorist targets, and President Musharraf will not act, we will wage the war that has to be won.
But the fact of the matter is that it is time to bring our troops home, in part to focus on what's going on in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Where Al-Qaeda is resurgent, the national intelligence estimates this week indicated that we are less safe. Al-Qaeda has regrouped. They are stronger than ever before. Let me tell you something. As President of the United States, I will spend all my days thinking about how to keep you safe. But part of how I'm going to do that is making sure that we're fighting on the right battlefields instead of the wrong battlefields. It's time for us to shift our strategy.
Pakistani former Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto, as all of us now know, has been assassinated. Many people around the world, especially in Pakistan, are in shock, and there are fears about this act throwing Pakistan into all-out chaos. But should the U.S. stay out of the situation? My next guest has long urged the U.S. to do just that when it comes to much of the world's affairs. The Republican presidential candidate, Congressman Ron Paul, is joining us now from Des Moines, Iowa. Congressman, thanks very much for joining us.
The moral authority or the constitutional authority to impose our will. We shouldn't be either bribing them with our donations and foreign aid, and we shouldn't be threatening them if they don't do what we want, we bomb them. I'm offering something different, something the Founding Fathers offered, and that is neutrality. Talk to people and trade with people and negotiate with people, but not to have these two choices of either subsidizing them with foreign aid or threatening them with violence if they don't do as we tell them.
have a lot of goodness in this country, and we should promote it, but never through the barrel of a gun. We should do it by setting good standards, motivating people, and have them want to emulate us. But you can't enforce our goodness like the neocons preach with an armed force. It doesn't work.